Good day everyone! I am Kasan Pandapatan, a third-year college student of Kapalong College of Agriculture, Sciences and Technology, taking of the course Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Mathematics. In this video, we will talking about factoring quadratic trinomials of the form ax² plus bx plus c. So, let's go! Factoring quadratic trinomial with the form ax² plus bx plus c, where a is called the leading coefficient, where b is called the linear coefficient, where c is called the additive constant, and x is a variable. There are two methods of factoring quadratic trinomial. First method is where a is equal to 1. And the second method is where a is greater than 1. In the first method, where a is equal to 1, there are three types of cases to factor a quadratic trinomial. First, if the x² term has no coefficient other than 1. Second, if the constant is negative. Third, if the middle factor is negative. And in the second method, where a is greater than 1, there has only one case, and it is if the x² term does have a coefficient other than 1. So, we will now proceed to the first method, which is a is equal to 1. In the first case, if the x² term has no coefficient other than 1. Let's see the example. Factor x² plus 7x plus 12. So, what are we going to do is to apply the step-by-step to find the factored form of x² plus 7x plus 12. Step 1. List all pairs of numbers that multiply to equal the constant, which is 12. So, we have three pairs of numbers, which each product is 12. Second, choose the pairs of numbers that adds up to the middle coefficient, which is 7. So, what do you think is the pair of numbers that adds up to 7? The 3 and 4. Because when you multiply 3 and 4, the product is 12. And when you add 3 and 4, the sum is 7. Since the pair of numbers are 3 and 4, we have now the factored form x plus 3 times x plus 4. Therefore, the factored form of x² plus 7x plus 12 is x plus 3 times x plus 4. And this is the final answer. Let's proceed to the second case. This time, the constant is negative. Let's see the example. Factor x² plus 2x minus 24. So, to find the factored form of x² plus 2x minus 24, we must apply the steps. Step 1. List all pairs of numbers that multiply to equal the constant, which is negative 24. Second, choose the pairs of numbers that adds up to the middle coefficient, which is 2. So, what pair of numbers do you think that adds up to 2? The negative 4 and 6, because when you multiply negative 4 and 6, the product is negative 24. And when you add negative 4 and 6, the sum is 2. Since the pair of numbers are negative 4 and 6, we have now the factored form x minus 4 times x plus 6. Therefore, the factored form of x squared plus 2x minus 24 is x minus 4 times x plus 6. And this is the final answer. So, let's proceed to the third case. This time, the middle factor is negative. So, let's see the example. Factor x squared minus 11x plus 24. So, what are we going to do is to just apply the steps to find the factored form of x squared minus 11x plus 24. So, the step 1 is list all pairs of numbers that multiply to the constant, which is 24. So, we have 4 pairs of numbers which each product is 24. Second, choose the pairs that adds up to the middle coefficient, which is negative 11. So, what pair of numbers do you think that adds up to negative 11? The negative 3 and negative 8, because when you multiply negative 3 and negative 8, the product is 24. And when you add negative 3 and negative 8, the sum is negative 11. Since the pairs of numbers are negative 3 and negative 8, so we have now the factored form x minus 3 times x minus 8. So, the final factored form of x squared minus 11x plus 24 is x minus 3 times x minus 8. Therefore, this is the final answer. And we are now in the second method of factoring quadratic trinomial, where a is greater than 1. This time, the x squared term does have a coefficient other than 1. Let's see the example. Factor the 3x squared plus 14x plus 8. In factoring this type of trinomial, our first step is multiply the leading coefficient and the constant. Since the leading coefficient is 3 and the constant is 8, when we will multiply, the product is 24. The next step is list all pairs of numbers that multiply to equal the product, which is 24. So, we have 4 pairs of numbers that each product is 24. Next step is choose the pairs of numbers that adds up to the middle coefficient, which is 14. So, what pairs of numbers do you think it is? The 2 and the 12, because when you multiply 2 and 12, the product is 24. When you add 2 and 12, the sum is 14. So, do we have now the factored form to write the binomial factor? No, there are more steps before we get the factored form. And our next step is write the temporary factors with the two numbers and put the original leading coefficient under both numbers, and it looks like this. x plus 2 over 3 times x plus 12 over 3. So, our next step is reduce the fractions if possible. So, as we can see, the possible to reduce is 12 over 3, and it comes x plus 2 over 3 times x plus 4. Now, is it the final factored form? No! We have one more step to get the final factored form. And the last step is move the denominator in front of x. And we have 3x plus 2 times x plus 4. Therefore, the final factored form of 3x squared plus 14x plus 8 is 3x plus 2 times x plus 4. And this is the final answer. And that's all for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to be updated for our next video. Thank you, everyone.